Mute yourself, please. Um, where are you tuning in from? Oluwashindra is tuning in from Abuja. Anyadike Gold is tuning in from Port Harcourt. This name sounds very familiar. Hi, Gold. Good to have you. Um, okay. Asharoma Special is tuning in from Lagos State. Good to have you. I hope Lagos State and Abuja, Port Harcourt is in a very beautiful mood this afternoon. Rachel Coker is tuning in from Port Harcourt. Good to have you, Rachel. And who again wants to say hi before we take off in a very high altitude? And IB David is tuning in from Port Harcourt. IB David, the name also sounds very familiar. Good to have you. Good to have you. Faith from Abuja. Hi, Faith. How is Abuja today? Good to have you. And Chiamaka is tuning in from Asaba, Delta State. Thank you for joining us, Chiamaka. Is there any other person that we want to recognize? You can just say hi in the comment section, your name and where you're tuning in from. And I want to welcome you specially. If there is no other person in the comment section, I guess we have to start. And this session is going to last for at most 1 hour. I love going straight to the point. I don't know how to beat about the bush. So whatever I'm going to share with you today, I am going straight to the point. Please, can you mute yourself so that we'll have a very clean record at the end of the day? Mute yourself, please. Okay. I think I have to do it from this end here. So with that, I welcome you once again. My session is always interactive. The reason is that I love connecting with my audience. I don't like teaching abstract. I love connecting with my audience, understanding their pain points, even when I've already prepared something. I love tailoring whatever I'm teaching to my audience. So we are going to be asking questions, using live scenarios instead of, using abstract things that really do not paint the picture very well. So I want to start by asking a question because if we do not really understand the topic we are about to treat today, we may not grasp the exact points I will be sharing. When we say good children, what exactly does the word good children mean to you? I want to understand. The word good children, what exactly does it mean to you? Because one word can mean different things to different people. So I want to be sure that we are on the same page. You can use the chat box. You can use the comment section. What does the word good children mean to you? Please let me know what it really means to you. Our topic today, we are going to be looking at why good children go bad. So what does the word good children, what does it really mean to you? Please, you can use the chat room. What does good children mean to you? We are going to spend about 1 minute on this, and then we move to the main business of the day. What does good children mean to you? Just like success means different things to different people. And I know that the word good children may mean different things to some of us. Hope you can hear me. I hope my mic is stable. Let me know if you can hear me in the comment section, please. Okay. Yes, I think I have it. I think I have a response here already. Somebody said, and that's faith. Good children means that have been taught, trained, exposed to culture and value. Fantastic. It's children that have been taught, trained, exposed to culture and value? I love this answer. Somebody said, not loud enough. Can you hear me very well? Can you hear me very well? I'm using mic. Let me know if my mic is doing justice to the volume. Can you hear me very well? Let me know. Somebody said, not loud enough. Someone said, yes, we can hear you very well. Good. Maybe you may want to check your settings. Probably it's from your end. Okay, Rachel said that good children to me means a well-behaved child that is able to express him or herself respectfully. Fantastic. Yeah, I love this as well. Yes. Yeah. Somebody say you are audible. Okay, thank you. Does anybody have a contrary opinion to what we already have here as good children? As good children. Okay, so let me ask another question. Would you rather raise an obedient child or a disciplined child? I'll repeat myself. Would you rather raise an obedient child or a disciplined child? Which one would you go for if you have the option? Would you rather raise an obedient or disciplined? Somebody said disciplined child. May I know why, if you don't mind, please? Why would you go for disciplined child?
Discipline comprises all things. If the child is disciplined, has morals, like it comprises of all things. You can obey and you don't have morals. You can obey because you are compelled to. So I think a disciplined child, for me, that's my opinion.
Mwah. Mwah. I'm blowing you a kiss. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Somebody said, discipline should resort to obedience. And I perfectly agree with you that discipline comprises everything. Yeah. You know, at times, some parents look out to, obey, every instruction, obey. So when a child is asking questions, trying to change status quo, they see it as disobedience. I've had to explain this to a group of people. I was invited in for a speaking engagement, and the audience, it was a very tough debate. And parents, that audience believe that when a child questions things, it is disobedience. But I told them no. And this is where many of us have problems. If a child questions something respectfully, that child should be encouraged and applauded. Because the truth is that some of the reasons or the reason some of the children fall victims to a lot of things is because they've been conditioned to obey whatever, an authority or an adult figure says. So there are children that have been molested because an adult said something they were supposed to question or suggested something they were supposed to question. But because they've been conditioned to obey an authority or an adult figure, they didn't resist and they gave in because they wanted to be obedient. So in the real sense of it, we should strive for discipline. When you succeed in getting a child to be disciplined, everything is a compassed. Then when you have a disciplined child will question the status quo. A disciplined child will not take things hook and sink. A disciplined child will always ask questions. Why? Why would I do this? Or why would I do it this way? Why not this way? A disciplined child will always come up with concepts. I remember there was a day I asked my daughter to cook something, and I told her, do it this way, do it that way. She now asked the question, she said, Mom, why exactly should I follow this process? What if at the end of the day, I have what I think is a better option? It struck a chord in me. I said, you know what, Angel? What I want is a good meal. Cook it and bring it out. And at the end of the day, she cooked it her own way and got a very sumptuous meal. It's one experience that doesn't leave me in a haste, and it goes a long way to make me believe that children should be taught on how to respectfully ask questions, on how to respectfully, you know, ask questions about things that are considered static. Oh, this is the way I met it. This is the way it should be. They should be able to ask why. So with this, we are diving deep into the activity of today, the business of today. And we want to know why good children go bad. Some of them, not all. We want to really know. And we've been able to let me know when you can see my slide. Let me know when you can see my slide. Let me know
Yes, I
when.
can see it.
Okay,
I can
fantastic.
see it.
Good. Okay, please,
Training
can
of-
we all mute ourselves? I'm still hearing sound filtering in from the background. Thank you, Sonia. All right, so at the end of this 1 hour, you should be able to learn things, or maybe learn further things on how to raise value and purpose-driven children. That is what we are here for today. And the truth is that raising 21st century children is war. Parenting in 21st century is war. A very big war. Parenting in 21st century is war. 1 second, please. Why is this popping up? No, I don't want you. 1 second, let me sort this out. Skip. All right, apologies for that. Cells pop-up keeps coming up by this, by that. Can you still see my slide? Let me know if you can still see my slide, please. Can unmute yourself and let me know if you can still see my slide.
Yes, we can.
Okay, all right, thank you. So I said that parenting in 21st century is war. Days are gone, when things were done in such a way that children are told one thing, they don't ask questions, they take it hook on. Even these days, there are things that there are questions that if children ask, they don't get, an answer that they need. They will go outside. They will go to internet has made everything very easy. But the fearful thing is that what they are getting out there, many of them are not the truth. Many of them are traps. Many of them are silent strategies to really lure them into what they are not supposed to. So parenting in 21st century is war, because there are so many things you are fighting your children over with. You are fighting the media, you are fighting some systems, hidden systems with hidden agenda. You are fighting peers, yes. You are fighting media. You are fighting a lot of things that are coming with full influence. Full influence. And the truth is that if you are not one step ahead, they are likely to overpower. A lot of things are happening. I was in the church today, and I met a friend. She was sharing some things that were so deep, so deep. When all these things are being discussed, some of us will be saying, oh, thank God, it's not my portion, is for them. But the truth is that it's not my portion is not a strategy. Some of the things we fear are actually nearer than we can ever imagine. It's no longer very far away, it's around us. So what do? We try as much as possible to equip our children and also be one step ahead. One thing I tell parents is that there are informations you must ensure that your children have them firsthand from you. May they never get it from an outsider. May you never be a second hand in some important information. So parenting in 21st century is a serious war, and everybody must guard themselves. I use a graphics that really portrays there are a lot of things: device addiction, bad influence, negative content. There are a lot of things: social media, peer pressure, immorality. Then as parents, father and mother, values, faith, discipline, love, wisdom, building character, not just careers. I sound this as much as possible. If you are able to build character so deeply, you won't have anything to fear when it comes to career. If you're able to build values and characters so deeply, you won't have anything to fear when it comes to career. Then you raise leaders, not just followers. Leaders that will question status quo, that won't just follow instructions. You focus on faith, very, very important. Protect them, because the war is so fierce that if you miss a step, just a single step, a lot may happen. So why exactly do good children change? You see, these children is coming from a very good home. The parents are well respected. They are leaders in the church. They are known as, good people. And ordinarily, it's assumed that every child coming from such environment should be good children. And probably when they were small, they were good children, but immediately they leave the nest, they change to something else. So why does this happen more often? Because most times, when I'm having sessions with parents, one thing people they will always be pointing is that he or she changed. This is not the child I used to know. He or she changed. Either, oh, she gained admission to college or to high school, university, as the case may be, and the person changed. This is not the person I used to know. Then you keep wondering, how can someone good all of a sudden change? Why? Why does this happen? And that's what we're going to be looking at today. I pointed out 5 things. And those 5 things, I really want you to pay attention to them. When I am doing research, or whenever I am doing, or even whenever I am counseling, I'm hearing stories and all that. During my quiet time, what I do is that I ponder. I also ask myself questions. I weigh myself, I weigh my strategies to know if I'm still in track. So one of the things that make good children turn bad is identity vacuum. identity vacuum. Last month in our academy, we had a session for preteens and teens, and what we talked about was identity and identity crisis. The truth is that if you do not help your child to define who they are, the word is readily available to define them. But the danger of allowing the word to define your child is that they are going to give them very false narrative. Helping your child to understand themselves, it goes beyond my name is Princess, my name is Junior, I am from Ogun State, or I'm from Abia State. That is not, it goes beyond that. Identity is them knowing exactly who they are in the real sense of it. Knowing their spiritual DNA. Knowing what they are made of. Knowing their personality, so that if somebody tells them, why are you always so quiet? They wouldn't want to start, living a life that is not theirs. If someone asks them, why are you always quiet? The child will look so boldly in the face of the person and said, that's my personality and I love it. The ability for them to know their innate abilities, their inherent gifts, so that if somebody that knows how to debate, or somebody that knows how to, that is good in athletics, comes and say, why don't you know how to run? Or why don't you know how to debate? The child can fix her gaze or his gaze in the person's and say, because I am exceptionally blessed with creative writing. That's my strength, just as you have strength in athletics, or just as you have strength in debates. I am powerfully and exceptionally gifted in writing. So you must ensure that you help your children to understand their identity, everything about them. Self-discovery is very, very important. Some parents always leave this, when you are growing, they will discover themselves. This is a very big error. This is a gift you will give your child from early stage. Don't wait until they reach a certain stage. Start from that time you start communicating with the child, observing things, whatever good, exceptionally good you observe about the child. Communicate it to this child consistently until it sinks into them, until they absorb it as their identity. This is very important, so that nobody will push them around for them to become who they are not, because if they don't understand who they are, the word will give them a definition that is not there. They will help them to define them. And the word is always ready with false narrative. Don't ever forget that. Then the second reason is emotional disconnection. I want us to pay attention to this. Emotional disconnection. At times when we talk about connection, parents go like, there is nothing I've not done for this child. Is it toy? Is it game? Is clothes? Name it. They don't even ask for it and I provide for them. Provision is not connection. Provision is not connection. Many children are well taken care of, but not understood. Many children are well taken care of, but not understood. And there is no connection. I've seen, there was a session I had, I think last year, a husband and wife with a son. And the man said that this boy used to be everywhere, but to the glory of God, I've been able to clip his wings. Now he is always, quiet and well behaved. There and then I told the man that there is even a deeper problem, because you've ended up denaturing a child. He thought it was a joke, because the boy he clipped his wings started acting weird, and it became another problem. A child that is everywhere, playing all the time, being the life of the party and all that, that child was designed that way for a reason. What you may want to do is to, nurture that gift. It's a gift because there is a unique reason why that child was designed in that way in the first place. What you may want to do is to nurture and direct that gift to a good cause. Don't clip their wings. Don't make an extroverted child to become an introverted child. And some parents have, how do I say it, in the verge of trying to correct their children, lose emotional connection. And the truth is that whatever you want to correct in a child, if there is no connection, you can't get it right. So I want to stress on the fact that provision is not connection. Seek for a way to connect with your child so that this child will always be open and readily available to communicate and have conversations, shares some things, overwhelming moments and challenging moments, so that you will be the first hand they share with. Because if they skip you and share with, if they fall into a wrong hand, it's a very dangerous thing to happen. So at times when children are behaving like good children, whatever you tell them they will do in fear, out of fear, just when they go out there, who they are outside entirely different from who they are inside. So must ensure that there is no emotional disconnection between you and your child. Then the third reason is influence overload. Like I said, that parenting in the 21st century is war. Is war. Before now, there was no social media. Before now, what we used to have as at then was, television, radio, newspaper. The best a child could maybe lay hands on then was, Emma Mills and Boone, all those funny books and all that. But now, within a twinkle of an eye, a child can go to a site that will, download things that are very, very unhealthy, emotionally, psychologically, and otherwise. So there is influence overload. Is a very big challenge. There is influence coming from their friends, influence coming from media, influence coming from school culture. I always say that it's not every good school that is good for your child. I made a post on Facebook about this. It's not every good school that is good for your child. Before you look for a child for your school, there are so many things you must have to consider. First of all, you must consider your family values. This school, whatever they believe in, their belief system, their principle, their culture, the school culture values, do they align with your family values? You must have to consider this. If your child is going to primary or secondary school and this child has started, displaying some innate abilities, look for a school also that will understand the gifts of your child so that they will not suppress the gifts. Very important. Then all these are constantly shaping your child's thinking pattern, whether you like it or not. And you must be one step ahead of them. If you're not one step ahead of them, they will shape the child to the point that whatever you are passing to the child after they have finished shaping the child is a secondary. When your opinion becomes secondary, is a very dangerous thing to happen to a child. So always be one step, if possible, 1,000 steps ahead of them, so that whatever the child is getting outside, already this child has a foundation. Whatever that is coming in, the child is sieving them. If it's not in line with their personal value system, that's why I thought of, though we are going to deal with that in a very detailed form. That's why I talk of, you see, personal value system for a child is a must-have. If your child cannot identify their personal value system, is a very serious issue because it works as a life compass wherever they are. Because the truth is that you won't be with them every time. So be very, very aware that there is influence overload coming from different angles, and you must be one step, or if possible, 1,000 steps ahead of them. Now, the fourth one is lack of value system. This is where many parents get it very wrong. Lack of value system. I was having a conversation with a parent in a session, and he said the child did something. So when we are trying to analyze and all that, I was asking questions. The parent said, but she was supposed to know. She was supposed to know is not the same thing as she knows. I've taught her or I've taught him. This is exactly against our value. This is our value. Was supposed to know is a different thing from I've already installed this. This is what we are known for in our family. You see, value system. That's why any family that is running without a vision, because there is no how you can have a family vision without family values. There is no how you will have a family vision without family values. Any family that runs without family vision and values, the children suffer it the most because a lot of things will be going wrong. A lot of things. So a child without a personal value system will always follow the crowd because this child does not have direction. This child does not really understand the things he should say yes or no to. He doesn't even know how to, sieve out the things that he should say yes or no. In front of peer pressure, he doesn't know what to do. So it's a question of if you can't beat them, you join them. Personal value system is a must-have for every child. Please, can we mute ourselves, please? There is a noise coming in. Abata, please, thank you for muting yourself. So, a child without a personal value system will always follow the crowd. Ensure that you hand your child a personal value system. This one is not a question of, no, Chibike knows that lying is a sin now. Haruna knows that stealing is a sin. Tunde should know that taking another person's thing is not good. Hand it over to them as their personal value system. This is why in PIDCA, in our academy, the first thing we set out with in the beginning of a cohort is helping all the children to create their personal value system, so that even if in the stream of sleep you wake them up, what's your personal value system? They should be able to articulate and tell you exactly what their personal value system is, and they should be able to also tell you why they chose those values, those core values, why, and what it will help them to do. So ensure that your child has a well-defined personal value system, because it works like a life compass. It leads them to make friends, to make choices, to make decisions. Whatever they have to do, they must consider their personal value system. Oh, does this thing align with my personal value system, before they make choices and empowering decisions? So the fifth one is no structured guidance. If you're running a home where there is no structure, is a very serious issue because it will affect the children. There are times parents will say, why should a child wait for 13, 14 years before you give a child a phone? Children need phone. They need it to do this, to do that. Giving a child a phone is not a problem, but knowing how to guide that child and how the child also navigates his or her way with the phone on the internet is where the real work is. Freedom without direction leads to confusion, because every road will look like it. Every road will look like it. There is no direction. So if there is no structure in the home, no disciplinary structure, no guidance, no accountability, no nothing. We all wake up in the day, whatever the day brings, there is no structure. Oh, this is the time we read, this is the time we craft, this is the time we watch television, or this is the time we journal. No, nothing. You just wake up in the morning, you start doing things. This is a very dangerous thing to happen in a home. There must be a structure that will help the children to have direction wherever they find themselves. Now, the big question is, what do wise parents do differently? Now, these are problems. Now, these are the things that can make good children to turn bad, because they are good inside, but when they are outside there, they are different people. So what are we going to do? What are wise parents supposed to do to ensure that good children remain good, whether they are home or outside? We are going to take them one by one. And the first thing I outline here is that wise parents, build identity early. Wise parents build identity early. There is nothing like be a good child. If you keep telling a child, be a good child, you're as good as not saying anything. Because being a good child is vague. It's vague. This child do not understand what good means in the real sense of it. Building identity entails asking the child or teaching the child who they are, whose DNA runs in you, the things you have that make you exceptional, that make you unique, so that you don't go out there and somebody use them against you. A child was seriously battling with low self-esteem. Why? Because another child said that her nose is pointed. Yes, you can imagine the same nose, pointed nose that people go under the knife to get is what a child goes out there and somebody said your nose is pointed, and that child started, battling with low self-esteem, pressing her nose for her nose to be as flat as the nose of the child that said you have pointed nose. You must hand your child their identity. Make them to discover themselves. Make them to discover the things that make them unique, so that those unique things should not be used against them. And help them to understand why they have those unique things. Oh, you cannot run, but you can write. Oh, you cannot write, but you speak so well. You make presentations, you debate so well. Find those things that are so unique and help your child to absorb them and see them as unique and exceptional things. Help them to find their superpower, so that when they are out there, they will use those superpower to excel and remain confident. Because when a child is battling with low self-esteem and the inferiority complex, it becomes a serious issue that can push them even to do the things that they are not supposed to do. So wise parents ensure that they hand their children their identity very early. Don't say, I'll wait when the child is 6 now. Oh, let's wait when he's 7 now. Start when the child starts, that time that a child has a sense of recognition. Even when they've not started talking, start affirming, telling them how beautiful they are, what they have, the abilities they have, how exceptional they are, why they have them, how they are going to make difference in the world, so that when they are there, they become their weapon. Then the next thing wise parents do is that they create emotional safety. This is very, very important. They create emotional safety to the point that a child will always know that a home is the safest place. And in the arms of mom and dad, I can always express myself, share my fears, and they will be able to tell me the right thing to do. Even when I've messed up, I should be able to know that my parents will be able to welcome me, correct me with love, and hand me the right compass to go with. Signs of emotional safety is when your child can talk to you and express themselves without fear. If your child cannot express themselves, if they can't ask questions respectively, if they can't respectfully object some of the things that you say, then there is a problem, because what it means is that they follow every instructions. Don't say, even if my child is going to object, let them object outside, but whatever I say in the home stands. They learn objections from inside. Yes, let there be days that you say something and you say, Mom, but I have a question. And you say, okay, let me have your question. And the child asks you question respectively. Why should this be this? Why won't this? Yeah, raise a self-expressive child. Many parents are threatened when their children are asking them questions. I can understand that fear is trauma. Judging from where we are coming from, oh, when this child start asking questions, you will overpower me, you will do this. No. It's a blessing when your child asks you questions. It's a blessing when your child can respectively, I am laying emphasis on that word, respectively, object with superior arguments. Oh, don't you think it's better this way? And you look at it, don't bully them, with that I am your mother, this concept. You look at it. I remember when our daughter, I think she was either 6 or 7 years, asked us a question that children that die as children, do they remain children in heaven? Honestly, I didn't have answer to that question, and I said, all of us, let's do some research and come up with something to discuss on. Yes, admit when you don't know something. Don't, something that you're not sure, you try to bamboozle them with, fully, oh, this must be the answer. No, it can be a family discussion and people come up with their own opinion, and at the end of the day, you also learn. I learn from my children because my children are very big in research. I learn from them. We discuss things and we learn. So one of the signs of emotional safety is when your child can talk to you and express themselves without fear. Is a sign of emotional safety. Then the third thing that wise parents do is that they guide intentionally. They guide influence intentionally. Oh my goodness, why does this keep coming up? They guide influence intentionally. So what this means is that you don't control. There is a difference between guiding intentionally and controlling. There are two different things. Please, 1 second, let me remove this. Apologies for this. I think I have to ignore it if it comes out again. So another thing that wise parents do is that they guide influences intentionally. They don't control, but with guidance and awareness, they influence their children. Because the truth is that you can't control them from having friends. You don't follow them around. So you influence them on the kind of friends that they should have. And this can be done through their values, their value system. That is why I say that. You see, value system. Helping a child to create their personal value system is a game changer. So you can influence your child on what they watch, who they listen to, who they follow, the association they pick, the choices they make, the decisions they make through their value system. Once you get it right from their value system, the tendency to get a lot of things right is very, very high. Very, very high. So the things that wise parents do is that they guide influences intentionally. The fourth thing that wise parents do, I'm going to waste time here because this is the core of this webinar. They teach values consistently. Wise parents teach values consistently. It's not something you say today verbally and tomorrow you are not talking about it. Because when you say one thing today and the other, and especially when there is no structure, maybe a disciplinary structure, if you do this, there is a consequence. And one day there was a consequence, the other day there was no consequence. That's confusion. So wise parents teach values consistently. And when children learn values, these are the 5 most intelligences any child can break even and create a path that leads to successful and purposeful living. 5 most important intelligence any child should have in this world. When a child has a very strong personal value system, what you have succeeded in doing is that this child will be spiritually intelligent. Yeah. This child will be emotionally intelligent. This child will be intellectually intelligent. This child will be financially intelligent. And this child will have a very deep sociocultural intelligence. Do you know why? Because in values, you train all this. Spiritual intelligence, inculcating God, godliness in values. You are teaching this child spiritual intelligence. And I always tell parents that, okay, we are going to take all of them one by one so that you understand what I mean in the real sense of it. Spiritual intelligence, SI, sits at the very top of the hierarchy of intelligence because it helps us to find meaning, find purpose, and direction in lives. This is one intelligence that if your child scores, they can easily find purpose in life. They can easily connect with their destiny and their purpose in life. And this isn't about being religious. No, going to church every day. That's not what spiritual intelligence is all about. But spiritual intelligence is about having the capacity to act with wisdom, divine wisdom, and compassion, while maintaining inner peace and a sense of deep connectedness, regardless of external circumstances. So when you have helped a child to understand who God is, this child knows that regardless of whatever that is coming from outside, I already know who God is. I have a relationship with God. And my mantra is lead your child to that point where they can discover God themselves. Lead your child to that point where they can discover God themselves and have a personal relationship with God. Once you succeed in doing this, you will know that you have done a great job. With this, your child will know and understand how to communicate with God. With this, your child will know what and who God is, the DNA, the characteristics of God, and your child will start to, to imbibe and absorb all these characteristics and learn how to navigate their ways in things when it comes to spiritual issues. So, spiritual intelligence is at the top hierarchy of all intelligence, and you must ensure that you hand it over to your child through their core value system. Then the second intelligence your child will absorb when they really create their personal value system and imbibe by them is emotional intelligence. EI is what helps us to navigate ourselves and the people around us. It is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our emotions while also accurately reading and influencing the emotions of others. For those of us who have my book, Becoming an Emotionally Intelligent Preteen and Teens, I drafted how a child can even develop this by themselves. When a child understands empathy and kindness as core values, you bet me you are raising an emotionally intelligent child. When a child understands that there is something called emotional regulation, that or self-awareness, when a child will be able to know that, oh, I am angry at this moment. Okay, now that I know that I'm angry, what am I supposed to do so that I don't act or react out of anger? If your child can master this, if your child can master this, understand, be self-aware when they are angry, when they are happy, and that they should be able to know, oh, you don't make promises when you're angry, you don't make decisions when you're angry or when you are so excited, because emotions can lead to your, decisions, which may not be logically analyzed. So when your child understands this, empathy, kindness, self-awareness, emotional regulations, knowing, also being aware of other people's emotions, this is a child that will go into the world, build social capital, because this child is intact with knowing how to build and manage relationships. And to be honest, one of the things that help people to create a path that leads to success in life is emotional intelligence, because we are social animals. Wherever we find ourselves, we will meet people. So the ability to understand ourselves, our emotions, and the emotions of others will help us to build and maintain good relationship. So when you are teaching your child core values and helping them to create their personal value system, and kindness and empathy happen to be in a part of their value system, this child will end up becoming an emotionally intelligent child. So this is very, very important. The third intelligence that your child will absorb when you help them to create their personal value system is intellectual intelligence. I always tell people that you can make your child to be brilliant from home, even before when they get to school. I'm talking from experience. Our children's brilliance, intelligence begins from home, not from school. Not from school. Our children become brilliant, each and every one of them, before they went to school. They started from nursery or whatever. They've been already built to become brilliant from home. So when you are always asking the teachers, oh, you keep changing school, my child does not know anything, there is a fundamental thing that you're supposed to do. Brilliance, intellectual intelligence starts from home. For parents that are aware and intentional, you can make any child to become brilliant and intellectually high from your home, not from from school. So what it means is that you've already laid a foundation so that when that child goes out, whatever the teacher is doing, the teacher is, laying slabs on the foundation that you've already laid. So intellectual intelligence refers to a person's ability to think. I want to lay emphasis on that word, think. The person's ability to think, understand, learn, and solve problems using reasoning and knowledge. In our home, we have a routine. There is a me time called thinking time. You must teach your child how to meditate. No matter, teach them, go to a corner in your room, take your journal. This is a me time. Now journal your thoughts. That thing they're scribbling that time, they are thinking, because you can't journal your thoughts if you don't think. This is why it is important that you must ensure that your child learn how to journal. Journal your thoughts. Give them a guided journal that will tell them what to do. Like our journal, the Empowered Preteen or Empowered Teen Journal is a guided journal. It tells them what to do at each point in time. So when they are doing it, it is conditioning them to think. I always say that whatever you're doing in this world, and this thing denies you the privilege, your opportunity to think, is an enemy in disguise. If you are in a job that do not allow you a moment to think 24 hours, do not allow 24 hours to go by without you thinking. It's a very dangerous thing to happen to anybody. Because whoever that takes away your thinking power has taken away the most important thing God blessed you with. It's during thinking, reflection, and meditation that ideas drop. Uncommon raw ideas that when you develop them, the world will hear your name. So ensure you teach your child how to think. When your child learns how to think, learns how to understand things, and when you teach your child how to understand and solve problems, you see, problem solving skills, these things are not taught in school. I don't know of any topic all through my primary, secondary, university day that is problem solving skill. No, they are not taught in the four walls of any academic institutions. This is why I'm telling you that you can condition and program your child to be intellectually intelligent before they even go out there in the academic world. And you see people say, oh, they got it from their parents. I tell people, yes, my husband and I, we are intelligent, but if we have failed to do the things that we are supposed to do, I know that there is an element of inherency when it comes to intelligence. Yeah, there is no doubt. But if you still fail to do what you're supposed to do, if that child was supposed to be, let's say, intellectually intelligent 99%, that child may now be maybe on the area of 70-65. But if you program your child at home to be intellectually intelligent, nothing will make them not to be brilliant there in school. It starts from the home. So this is why what some people say, oh, their children are all smart. They take after their parents. There is something the parents are doing differently. So as a smart and wise parent that is here now, I am telling you that you can condition and program your child to be intellectually intelligent even before they get to school. How do you do this? You teach them how to think, how to reason. Before they make any choice or decision, they must think through it, weigh the options. There is always options. You teach them that any problem that comes your way, there are always options. You see that saying of, oh, there was nothing else for me to do, I had no option. That's not true. That's not true. There is always options. There are always options. But sometimes people will, go to the easy looking one and say there is no option. There are always options. There are always options to take from. So it's your responsibility for you to pick the one that you think that is the right option. For goodness sake, I don't know why all these softwares are coming up from nowhere. Protection. 1 second, please. Let me also exit this because, to be honest, they are becoming nuisance. Please let me know if you can still see my slide. I think I stopped sharing when I was trying to exit from this. Let me know if you can still see my slide. Can you still see my slide? Let me know if you can still see my slide. Apologies for this incessant interruption. Can you see my slide, please? If you can, just unmute yourself and say, if you cannot, let me know. Let me reshare it. Can you? Okay, thank you. All right. Thank you so much. So in essence, what I'm trying to say here is that you can actually program your child through their value system for them to become intellectually intelligent from home. Any child can be intelligent, honestly, intellectually, because intellectual intelligence entails the ability for this child to think, reason, analyze things, and know how to solve problems. So with that, we go over to the D type of intelligence, which is financial intelligence. Teach your child how to be financially intelligent through their personal value system. Let them know about money early enough. Let them know, let them start knowing about money and investments. That is something I'm doing with my younger children, the one between age 6, soon to be 6 to 11 years. No, soon to be 6 to 15 years. That's something I'm doing with them now. So where this year, the people in the UK that are buying my books, my children, they love service. That's one culture we have inculcated in them. They love serving. So what they do when Amazon delivers the book and there are people that want to purchase from UK, these children, they pack the books according to names, label them, pack them. They started this thing, and when I saw the excitement, their willingness on how they were doing this, I told them that every month they will be earning £5 each. And one of the conditions for you to continue earning is that you must not spend from that £5. You must keep them. And in December, you're going to calculate your earning. Then you are going to spend a certain percentage from the money. Then the rest, you invest it either in our family business or you buy shares with them with the money that you have made after you have taken a certain percentage to spend on whatever you want to, and also give like an offering. You can use it for charity or in the church, but it must be an offering. The essence of this, what I want, what my aim of doing this is to teach them about money, how to earn. When you earn, it's not about how much you earn, it's about being financially intelligent on what to do with money. Because I've seen people that earn in millions of nairas or even in dollars, but every month before 30th of the next month, they are looking for money, looking for who to borrow money from. Why? Because they are financially unintelligent. Yeah. So financial intelligence is not just about earning money. It's about knowing how money works, how to manage income wisely, how to spend intentionally. Because they now understand, delay gratification. When we talk about it, they now understand it. This month, 12th, their eldest sister, her birthday was 12th of this month. They now came to me, that they want to buy a birthday present for their sister. I allowed it, but it must not exceed a particular amount. And that was what they did. So there are things they will see now they want to buy, but when they remember that your condition for earning the next salary is bringing the one that you have earned, and if it's not complete, you'll be kicked out, you lose your job, you won't earn from it again. So they normally make fun of it. They will say, I don't want to lose my job. Yeah, they are now understanding that if you spend foolishly what you have earned, you will go broke. And when you go broke, you become poor. So, and when you're poor, automatically you'll be in debt because you'll be looking for who to borrow from. So, a financially intelligent person knows how money works, how to manage income wisely, how to spend intentionally, how to save and invest, how to avoid unnecessary debts, how to multiply resources, how to build wealth ethically and sustainably. If you look at this thing I'm doing with my children, you will find out that it encompasses all these things. They are earning. Not only that they are earning, they are saving the money, they are delaying gratification. So at the end of the year, they will bring a certain amount, a percentage will go to charity, offering, and then a certain percentage, they will spend it, because when you work, of course, you take care of yourself from what you earn. Then a bulk of that money go into saving. Is either they buy shares from family business, they save, they invest in family business that will also give them a percentage that is as a return on investment, or they buy external shares. So the most important thing, my target in all these things is to teach them how money works. You can see that we are passing a first-hand information from our family resources, so that when they go out there, when they start earning, they are used to it. It's part of them to know that they must delay gratification. Oh, I want to buy a car, but I need to save, invest a bulk of my money for tomorrow. And whatever that my investment yield is what I will use now for luxury and all that. Not the bulk of money I'm earning. No, you don't use it to squander. So you must hand your child first-hand information on financial intelligence. Don't say they are too young. Oh, when they get to 10, when they get to 15. Our last child is 6. She's part of the people now working, earning internally and saving their money. The essence of this is for us to teach them how money works, for them to become financially intelligent early enough. A family I know, this man made a hell of money, but their first child, their first son, is selling anything and everything his hands can. In fact, it's crazy. The mother is losing it mentally. All the things they have labored for. And that's why I always tell children, tell parents, do not make sacrifices that are supposed to be done by your children. Every human being, there is a compulsory part that any human being or every human being is supposed to work. Don't pay that price for your child. Because if you do, the lessons they are supposed to learn on the pathway, they will not learn it again. So they will squander all whatever you have worked for. So one of the intelligence you must hand over to your child, I'm using the must, is financial intelligence. And you can inculcate this thing through their personal value system, teaching them about delayed gratification, teaching them about self-control. Oh, I want to have this. Oh, teach them the difference between needs and wants. This is what you want. Is it a need? No, we skip it. We go for our needs for now. When you invest and you yield something, you can now use it for your wants. Yeah. And the last but not the least of the intelligence that personal value system can help your child to have is socio-cultural intelligence. Many parents are really trivializing this until their children start running into problems. Socio-cultural intelligence is a must-have for every child because the world is so big, opportunities are everywhere. You don't know where they will find themselves tomorrow. So they must learn things beyond their background. SI, sociocultural intelligence, is the ability to understand, relate with, and respond wisely to people from different social and cultural backgrounds. You must learn diverse cultural and social backgrounds of other people so that, there'll be inclusion. Not when you see people from other culture or things that you are not familiar with, you give that, facial expression that is sounding, oh no. Children and young people have missed opportunities because they are sociocultural unintelligent. So this is the ability, SI helps a person know how culture shapes people's thinking and behavior so that they will understand that people must not reason the same way they reason. There are diverse cultures and reasoning. How society influences values and decisions even. How to communicate appropriately in different environments. You don't just open your mouth, wow, whatever you see, ooh. And how to interact respectfully and effectively with people who are different from them. Yes, they are different from me. I must not be like them, but then I must respect their culture. Without sociocultural intelligence, a person can be highly educated yet socially insensitive, easily manipulated, or unable to function wisely in diverse environments. This is very important. If you want your child to be a global icon, of course, you must teach your child to be sociocultural intelligent. Then the fifth thing that parents do is that they don't leave growth to chances. Q-Sera should not be, it should never be, Q-Sera should never be your concept. What shall be, let it never be your concept, please. Q-Sera shouldn't be your concept. What shall be should not be your, because what shall be if you work on it. If you don't work on it, what shall be may not be. So don't leave growth to chances. Wise parents create systems. They involve their children in communities because they understand the power of communities. They ensure that their children are entrusted in the hands of trusted mentors and coaches. They join communities of like minds, community of purpose-driven young people, so that they will meet people that think and reason like them, that share the same values with them, not just walking aimlessly. Because the truth is that human beings are social animals. You can't tell your children you won't make friends or you won't join groups. There is that certain stage between teenagers, they want to join, they want to belong, they want to have friends, they want association. Oh, there is a youth club. Oh, there is this. Intentionally and smartly ensure that you systematically, you see the words I'm using, you don't control, you don't force. You systematically inculcate and make them to join community of like minds. Create systems that will help them to retain their value. Ensure that they are in community that will reinforce what you have already built, and also teach them things that you would like them to maintain as their values. And this is where I encourage parents to ensure that your child has a mentor. Ensure your child has a mentor, so that when your words are sounding so familiar, they will also hear from another authority figure the things you would want them to hear. And ensure that your children are in a community of like minds, a tribe that teaches them the things that you would also want them to hear. One second, please. Let me exit this. So ensure that you lead your child to a community where they will meet like minds, a community that share the same values with them, and ensure that your child has a mentor, so that when your child is hearing a repeated things from you and somehow you're beginning to sound like a broken record, they will also hear the same thing from their mentors, a trusted human being that you can vouch and say, oh, this person, the value has a value that aligns with my value system. And this is where we are bringing to you PITCA, Purpose Driven Champs Academy, our academy. In this academy is a community where we guide the young people through identity discovery, value system building, weekly structured activities that we call home play that help them to implement and live out their values. And we use unconventional materials in helping them to imbibe and absorb their values. We use movies, we use games, we use books, we use a lot of things to help them absorb their values. And it's a community of mentorship and accountability, a community that reinforces values and purpose. This is a community that any child should be. And this is an uncommon call. If you listen to this webinar and something in you is saying, my child needs this, please don't ignore that nudge. We are opening the very last window of 2026 cohorts for parents to enroll their children so that they will join other children that are already in the system. This is the very last window. And any parent who register their children in the next 24 hours will receive a 20% discount of the enrollment fee, and you will also get a free guide, a guide called 5 Conversations Every Parent Must Have with Their Preteen and Teen. This offer lasts for 24 hours. And remember, I said that this is the last window for 2026 cohort. Next Sunday, we are going to be having a live session with them. And we'll be working with an expert in child psychology so that he will lead them through the conversation of LGBT. If you think that this conversation is not something to have, then you must be living in another planet, because it's a very serious conversation that every child should start talking about at this present stage. So at this point, remember this offer lasts for 24 hours. You get a 20% discount of the original price, original fee, and you get a free guide called 5 Conversations Every Parent Must Have with Their Preteen and Teen. And with this, we've come to the end of this webinar, and I'm going to wait to hear your questions and comments. Thank you very much. This is the time for you to ask questions. Do you have questions? If you have question, please ask. You can use a chat box or you can unmute yourself. Somebody said, can we have this material after the class and the audio clip? Yes, we are going to share the recorded video. Yeah, the recorded version. We're going to share it in the group, yeah. So does anybody have any other question or comment? In absence of question or comment, we're going to call it a night. We've already spent an hour, 25 minutes. Oh my God, that is one problem I have. I must ensure that I unload all that I know. I share all I know. So does anybody has any other question? Do you have any other question? Okay, in absence of question, we are going to call it a night. And thank you so much for being part of this webinar. Please go back and implement all that you have learned. We want to raise a generation of purpose-driven. We don't want to lose our children to the world. May God grant us our heart desires as we do this in Jesus' name. So I'll be seeing you some other time. And for those of you that are going to enroll their children, we are going to see you at the other end. please, like I said, for registered participants, they will be having a special virtual hangout next Sunday where they're going to be discussing they'll be having a conversation with an expert in child psychology to talk about LGBT. Yeah, so with that, we have come to the end of this session. Chiamaka said, thank you so much. IB David said, thank you so much for the lecture. It was so insightful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're welcome. All right, so with this, we have come to the end. Good night, everybody.